The rain hammered against the bus stop shelter where Maya Chen sat hunched over her phone, wearing a vintage denim jacket over a white tank top and black ripped jeans. Her Converse were soaked through. Neon signs from the 24-hour convenience store across the street reflected in puddles, casting pink and blue shadows across the empty street. Her fingers were shaking so hard she could barely type. Dad's bail is set at $75,000. Public defender says he'll take a plea deal, but I know he didn't do this. Someone set him up. I'm losing my mind. She hit send. Stared at the screen through blurred vision. The reply came back instantly. I think you have the wrong number. Her stomach dropped. She looked at the contact name. Not her best friend Jess. Some random number she must have clicked by accident. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Please delete that. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Already gone. But hey, for what it's worth, that sounds brutal. Hope your dad's okay. Something about the response made her chest tighten. Not pity. Just honest. Thanks. Sorry again for the trauma dump lol. Don't be. I'm Kai BTW. Maya. And low-key this is weird, but also you seem cool. Weird is my baseline. What happened with your dad? She shouldn't respond. Stranger danger and all that. But sitting alone in the rain at 2 a.m. with nobody to talk to made Weird feel safer than silence. Someone planted stolen goods in his tattoo shop. He's a single dad, been clean for 5 years. Now they're trying to destroy everything he built. The system loves doing that. Kicking people when they're already down. You sound like you know about it. More than I want to. Maya pulled her knees to her chest, the shelter's metal bench cold through her jeans. Her phone was her only light source now. Everyone keeps telling me to accept reality. Like he's already guilty. Are you accepting it? Hell no. Good. Don't. Even if it's impossible. Especially then. Something in those 2 words made her feel less alone than she had in weeks. Why are you being nice to me? You don't know me. Maybe that's exactly why I can be. Her phone buzzed again before she could process that. Or maybe I just recognize someone who's drowning and nobody's throwing them a rope. She typed fast, her walls cracking. Who did you lose? The response took forever. Everyone who mattered. Which is why I'm telling you to fight. I don't even know how anymore. Then let me help you figure it out. Her heart was racing now. This was unhinged. Texting a stranger about her life falling apart. Why would you help me? Because I have resources you need. And you have something I lost a long time ago. What's that? Someone worth fighting for. She stood up slowly, rain soaking her hair now. The bus shelter felt too small. If I ask for your help, what does it cost? Everything, probably. But what's your alternative? She thought about her dad in that cell. About the foreclosure notice on their apartment. About dropping out of art school because she couldn't afford tuition and lawyer fees. When can we talk? Right now. You're not going home anyway, are you? A chill ran down her spine. How do you know that? Because people who are okay don't text strangers at 2 a.m. in the rain. He wasn't wrong. Okay. Talk. What do you know about helping someone like me? First tell me something real. Not the crisis. Something that reminds you who you are. The question caught her off guard. I used to do street art. Murals mostly. I haven't painted anything in 3 months. Why not? Because I can't create when everything's burning down. What if I told you I could put out the fire? Her breath caught. How? Meet me tomorrow night. Brooklyn Bridge Park. 10 p.m., come alone. That's actually insane. So is letting your dad take the fall for something he didn't do. Her finger hovered over the keyboard. How will I know it's you? I'll be wearing a black hoodie. Standing by the water. And Maya? Yeah. Don't tell anyone about this. Some things only work in silence. She stared at her phone for 5 full minutes before responding. I'll be there. Good. Now go home. Get some sleep. Tomorrow changes everything. Maya stepped out into the rain, her phone clutched against her chest, and wondered if she'd just made the best or worst decision of her life. Maya arrived at Brooklyn Bridge Park 15 minutes early, wearing black cargo pants and an oversized band tee under her denim jacket. The city lights sparkled across the East River like broken glass. Her heart was trying to escape her ribcage. She spotted him immediately. Tall. Black hoodie. Dark jeans. Standing at the railing, staring at the water like he was searching for something he'd lost. His hands were shoved in his pockets, shoulders tense. She approached slowly, every instinct screaming at her to run. Kai. He turned. Dark eyes that looked older than his face. Sharp jawline. Asian features that could have been Korean or Chinese. Maybe mid-20s. A silver chain caught the light at his neck. Maya. Not a question. A confirmation. They stood 3 feet apart, sizing each other up. You actually came, he said. You thought I wouldn't? Most people don't follow through when things get real. She crossed her arms. I'm not most people. A ghost of a smile touched his lips. I can see that. The wind picked up, carrying the smell of salt water and distant rain. So. You said you could help my dad. How? Kai's expression shifted. Harder. More calculating. I know the person who framed him. The world tilted. What? Your dad's case. It wasn't random. Someone targeted him specifically. Her blood turned to ice. How do you know that? Because I know everyone in this city's underground. And the person who planted those stolen goods? He works for someone I used to work for. Used to? I got out. Mostly. What does mostly mean? He looked away. It means I still have connections. Still know how things work. Still owe favors. So you're what? A criminal? I prefer entrepreneur with flexible morals. That's not funny. It's not meant to be. He turned back to her, his eyes intense. Your dad got caught in the middle of something bigger. A turf war. They needed a fall guy, and his shop was in the wrong location. Rage flooded through her. Give me a name. It doesn't work like that. The hell it doesn't. You want revenge or you want your dad out? She bit down on her tongue hard enough to taste copper. Both. Can't have both. Not yet anyway. Then what are you offering? Kai pulled out his phone. Showed her a number that made her stomach drop. 75,000. Bail money. Plus 50 for a real lawyer. One who can actually clear his name. That's $125,000. I can count. Where would you even get that? His jaw tightened. Let's just say I've been saving for something that matters. Why would you give it to me? I'm not giving it. I'm investing. Her heart skipped. In what? In you. The weight of those words hung between them. I don't understand. Kai stepped closer. Close enough that she could smell his cologne. Cedar and smoke. You're an artist. I need an artist. I have a project that requires someone with your specific skills. What project? Can't tell you yet. Not until you agree. That's suspicious as hell. Everything about this is suspicious. But it's also your only real option. She hated that he was right. What if I say no? Then your dad takes the plea deal. Gets 5 years minimum. And you watch him lose everything while the people who actually did this walk free. Tears burned behind her eyes. You're manipulating me. I'm giving you a choice. That's more than the system's giving you. Some choice. Better than none. She turned away, gripping the railing until her knuckles went white. If I do this, if I agree to whatever shady thing you need, can you guarantee my dad gets out? I can guarantee I'll do everything in my power to make it happen. That's not the same thing. It's the best thing. She looked at him over her shoulder. Really looked at him. Saw the scars on his knuckles. The exhaustion behind his eyes. The way he held himself like someone who'd been hurt too many times to ever fully relax. What happened to you? She asked quietly. What made you like this? His face went blank. Carefully blank. That's not part of our deal. Maybe it should be. You know everything about me. I know nothing about you. Fair point. He was quiet for a long moment. My parents were arrested when I was 16. They ran a small import business. Someone reported them for tax fraud. It was fabricated, but by the time anyone proved it, they'd already lost everything. My mom died in custody. Heart attack. My dad followed 6 months later. The air left her lungs. Kai, I'm so sorry. Don't be. It taught me how the world really works. And it made me angry enough to figure out how to beat it. By becoming what destroyed them. His laugh was bitter. Maybe. Or maybe by learning to use their weapons against them. She turned fully to face him. If I do this, I need one promise. Name it. You don't lie to me. Ever. About anything. Something flickered in his eyes. Respect maybe. Or warning. I can't promise that. Then I walk. They stared at each other. The city breathed around them. Fine, he said finally. No lies between us. But Maya? What? Sometimes the truth is worse than the lie would have been. I'll take that risk. He pulled out a burner phone. Handed it to her. Tomorrow morning. 9 a.m., a courier will bring bail money to your apartment. After your dad's out, you text this number. We meet again. And I tell you what I need from you. She took the phone. It felt heavy. Final. What if I take the money and run? You won't. How do you know? Because you're not like me yet. You still believe in doing the right thing. And you don't? I believe in survival. Everything else is negotiable. She should have walked away right then. Should have thrown the phone in the river and never looked back. Instead, she pocketed it. One more question. Shoot. Why me? Really? You could hire anyone. Kai looked at her for a long time. Then he reached out and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. The gesture was so unexpected, so gentle, it froze her in place. Because when I saw your text, he said quietly, I saw someone who reminded me of who I used to be. Before I learned to stop caring. And maybe part of me wants to see if saving you means I can save that part of myself too. Before she could respond, he stepped back. 9 a.m., Maya. Don't miss it. He walked away into the shadows, leaving her standing alone by the water, her heart hammering and the burner phone burning a hole in her pocket. 3 weeks later, Maya stood in an abandoned warehouse in Red Hook, wearing paint-stained overalls and a black crop top, her hair tied back with a bandana. Industrial lights cast harsh shadows across the massive wall in front of her. This was the project. Kai leaned against a steel column 20 feet away, dressed in a fitted black shirt and dark slacks, looking like money and danger combined. He watched her work with an intensity that made her skin prickle. She'd been painting for 6 hours straight. A mural. But not just any mural. An exact replica of a stolen Banksy piece worth $3 million. "You didn't tell me I'd be creating a forgery," she'd said when he first explained. "I told you it would compromise your morals. This is more than compromise. This is fraud. This is survival. Mine and yours." Her dad was home. The charges were dropped. A witness had mysteriously come forward, and the stolen goods were mysteriously found at the real culprit's location. Kai had kept his promise. Now she had to keep hers. "How's it looking?" Kai called out. Maya stepped back, studying her work. It was perfect. Too perfect. Every spray pattern matched. Every color gradient identical. "It's done." He walked over slowly, his footsteps echoing. Stood beside her. Their shoulders almost touching. "Damn," he breathed. "You're actually incredible. Don't. This doesn't feel like art. It feels like betrayal." "Betrayal of what?" "Everything I believe in. Art should be honest. This is a lie." He turned to face her. "Is your dad's freedom a lie?" The question hit hard. "That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair. But it's real. And real beats fair every time." She couldn't argue. Didn't want to. "Who's buying this?" "Private collector. Russian. Doesn't ask questions as long as the paperwork looks legitimate." "And does it?" "We'll buy tomorrow." "You've thought of everything." "I have to. One mistake and we both go down." The word "we" did something strange to her chest. Over the past 3 weeks, they'd spent almost every evening together. Planning. Talking. Sometimes just sitting in silence while she sketched and he worked on his laptop doing things she didn't ask about. She'd learned he took his coffee black. That he had a scar on his collarbone from a knife fight he refused to explain. That he listened to lo-fi hip-hop when he was stressed. That his smile was rare but devastating when it appeared. She'd learned she was falling for him and it terrified her. "After this," she said quietly, "after you sell this, we're done, right?" His jaw tightened. "If that's what you want." "Is it what you want?" He looked away. "What I want doesn't matter." "That's not an answer." "It's the only one I've got." Her phone buzzed. She pulled it out. A text from her dad. "Dinner this weekend? Want you to meet someone." Her stomach twisted. "My dad's dating again." "That's good, right?" "I guess. It's just weird. He hasn't dated since my mom left when I was 10. Where's your mom now?" "No idea. She just vanished one day. Left a note saying she couldn't do this life anymore." Kai's expression shifted. Softened. "I'm sorry." "Don't be. I barely remember her anyway." "You remember enough that it still hurts." She hated how right he was. How he could see through her. "Why are you good at this?" she asked. "Reading people. Survival skill. You learn to read people when your life depends on knowing who's lying." "Am I lying about anything?" He studied her face. "You're lying about being okay with us being done after this." Her breath caught. "You can't just say things like that." "Why not?" "Because." She stepped closer, her voice dropping. "Because I'm trying really hard not to care about you and you're making it impossible." "Good. Good. I don't want you not caring about me." Kai. Maya. They were inches apart now. The warehouse felt electric. "This is a bad idea," she whispered. "Terrible idea." We barely know each other. I know enough. Like what? I know you're stronger than you think. Braver than you believe. And that you paint storms because you are one. Her heart was racing. You remembered that. I remember everything you tell me. His hand came up to cup her face. Gentle. Reverent. Tell me to stop, he said. I can't. He kissed her. It wasn't gentle. It was desperate. 3 weeks of tension exploding. His hands in her hair. Her fingers gripping his shirt. Everything else disappearing. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, he pressed his forehead to hers. We can't do this. I know. It's too complicated. I know. But I don't want to stop. Me neither. He pulled back, his eyes searching hers. After tomorrow, after the sale, I need to tell you something. About why I really helped you. Warning bells went off in her head. Tell me now. Tomorrow. Kai. Trust me. Please. One more day. She nodded slowly. Against her better judgment. Okay. Tomorrow. He kissed her forehead. Tomorrow. The next evening, Maya waited at their usual spot. A rooftop bar in Williamsburg where they'd started meeting after painting sessions. She wore a vintage slip dress and her denim jacket. Nervous energy making her bounce her leg. Kai was late. He was never late. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Maya. It's Detective Rodriguez. We need you to come to the precinct. It's about your father. Ice flooded her veins. What about him? He's been arrested. New evidence in his case. That's impossible. The charges were dropped. New charges. Seems someone came forward claiming he was involved in a larger smuggling operation. We need to ask you some questions too. Her hands were shaking so hard she could barely hold the phone. Who came forward? Silence. Ms. Chen. Do you know a Kai Zhang? The world stopped. What? Kai Zhang. He filed a detailed statement this morning. Claims your father recruited him years ago. That he has evidence of an extensive criminal network. No. No, no, no. He's lying. That's what we need to determine. Come to the precinct. Now. The call ended. Maya stared at her phone in disbelief. Then it buzzed again. Text from Kai's number. I'm sorry. I had no choice. They had evidence that would have destroyed both of us. I made a deal. Your dad takes the fall for real this time, and we both walk free. The forgery money is yours. Start over somewhere new. Forget about me. I'm sorry I made you care. That was the cruelest thing I've ever done. The phone slipped from her hands and shattered on the concrete. She couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. He'd played her. Used her. Saved her dad just to destroy him again. Made her fall for him just to break her completely. Maya Chen stood on that rooftop, the city glittering below her like broken promises, and felt something inside her die. Or maybe, something darker was being born. 2 months later, Maya sat in a glass-walled office 50 stories above Manhattan, wearing a tailored black blazer over a silk camisole and leather pants. Her hair was cut short now, sharp and precise. Diamond studs in her ears. Designer heels. She looked expensive. Untouchable. She felt empty. The forgery money had been real. $3 million. Enough to hire the best lawyers in the city. Enough to uncover the truth. Kai hadn't betrayed her. He'd sacrificed himself. The evidence against her dad had been fabricated by the same crime family Kai had tried to escape. They'd threatened to kill Maya if Kai didn't come back and work for them. So he'd created a fake confession to make it look like he was turning witness, bought Maya time to escape, and planned to disappear. But she'd figured it out. Hired investigators. Followed the money trail. Found the real players. And now she was about to burn their entire operation down. The door opened. A man in an expensive suit walked in. Silver hair. Cold eyes. Viktor Sokolov. The man who'd orchestrated everything. Ms. Chen. I'm surprised you requested this meeting. Maya stood slowly. Confident. Dangerous. I have something you want. And what would that be? Proof that Kai Zhang is dead. That he can never testify against you. Victor's expression didn't change. Go on. She slid a folder across the desk. Fake death certificate. Photos. Coroner's report. All forgeries. All perfect. He tried to run. Your men caught up with him in Mexico. It's done. Victor studied the documents. Very thorough. I learned from the best. And why bring this to me? Because I want in. Now she had his attention. Excuse me? Kai's operation. His connections. His territory. I want it. Victor laughed. Actually laughed. You're a child playing dress-up. I'm someone who created a forgery good enough to fool your top buyer. Who laundered $3 million without leaving a trace. Who knows every detail of your network because Kai told me everything before he died. The laughter stopped. What do you want? Partnership. I bring you artists. Clean money through galleries. Legitimate fronts. In exchange, you clear my father's name completely. Make all charges disappear forever. And if I refuse? Maya smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. Then copies of those real financial records, the ones your accountant thought were encrypted, get sent to the FBI. Along with evidence of your involvement in 12 unsolved murders. Victor's face went dark. You're bluffing. Am I? She pulled out her phone. Showed him a screen. His own offshore accounts. Transaction histories. Everything. Kai taught me a lot before he died. Including where you hide your secrets. Silence stretched between them. You have guts, Victor said finally. Stupid, suicidal guts. Do we have a deal? He stood. Walked to the window. Looked out at the city. Your father walks. You work for me for 5 years. After that, you're free. 2 years. 4. 3. And I report to you directly. No middlemen. Victor turned. Studied her with new respect. Done. He extended his hand. Maya shook it. Sealed her fate. Pleasure doing business with you, Ms. Chen. She left the office with her head high, took the elevator down alone, and made it to her car before the shaking started. What had she done? Her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? That was quite a performance. Her blood turned to ice. Kai. You're alive. Disappointed? Furious. Fair. Where are you? Watching you walk to your car. Black Mercedes. Nice upgrade. She spun around. Scanned the street. Couldn't find him. Show yourself. Not yet. First you need to hear the truth. I'm done with your truths. This one might change things. The prosecutor who went after your dad? He's Victor's brother. The whole case was designed to recruit me back. They knew I'd try to save you. Knew I'd expose myself. Her hands gripped the steering wheel. So you used me as bait. I used you as cover. There's a difference. Not from where I'm sitting. Maya, everything I did was to keep you alive. The confession. The fake evidence. Making you hate me. It was the only way to get Victor to believe you weren't connected. To keep you safe. Safe? I just sold my soul to a crime lord because I thought you were dead. Silence. What did you do? She told him. Everything. The deal. The partnership. The 3 years. More silence. Then, you brilliant, stupid, beautiful disaster. Excuse me? You just did in 5 minutes what I've been trying to do for 5 years. What? Get inside Victor's operation. Earn his trust. I've been working with the FBI for 18 months. Building a case. But I could never get close enough. You just walked right in. Her brain was spinning. You're undercover. Was. Now I'm supposedly dead. Which means I can't finish this. But you can. No. Absolutely not. Maya. No. I'm not becoming your spy. I'm not risking my life so you can play hero. This isn't about me being a hero. It's about taking down the organization that destroyed both our families. That's framed dozens of people. That's killed anyone who got in their way. I don't care. Yes, you do. You care more than anyone I've ever met. It's why you painted that forgery. Why you made that deal. Why you've been fighting this whole time. Tears were burning her eyes now. I can't do this. You're the only one who can. Why me? Because you're the storm, remember? You change everything. You leave people different than you found them. Kai. I need you. The FBI needs you. But more than that, I think you need this. To finish what we started. To make all of it mean something. She was crying now. Silent tears streaming down her face. If I do this, if I help you, what happens after? After, we both get to be free. Really free. No lies. No debts. No running. Together? His voice softened. If you'll still have me after everything I've put you through. I should hate you. I know. I should have left you in that river the first night. I know. But I can't stop caring about you, and it's the worst thing I've ever felt. I know. And Maya? What? I fell for you the moment you texted me. Every single thing since then has been me trying not to get you killed while being completely in love with you. So if you hate me, I understand. But know that everything I did was because losing you would have destroyed me more than any of this ever could. Her heart was breaking and healing at the same time. Where are you? Turn around. She did. Kai stood 20 feet away, wearing a dark coat and jeans, looking exactly like the first night. Except his eyes weren't empty anymore. They were full of fear and hope and something that looked like love. Maya got out of the car. They stood in the middle of the sidewalk, people streaming around them. I'm going to help you take them down, she said. All of them. It's going to be dangerous. Everything about us is dangerous. You could die. I could. But I'd rather die fighting beside you than live safely without you. He closed the distance between them in 3 strides. Pulled her into his arms. Held her like she was the only real thing in the world. I don't deserve you, he whispered against her hair. Good thing I don't care about what you deserve. He pulled back just enough to kiss her. Soft and desperate and full of promises neither of them knew if they could keep. When they broke apart, Maya looked up at him. So. How do we destroy a criminal empire? Kai smiled. Actually smiled. Together. We do it together. The gallery opening glittered with champagne and lies. Maya stood in the center of the white-walled space, wearing a floor-length black slip dress with a leather jacket thrown over it, her short hair styled sharp. She looked like art herself. Dangerous and beautiful. Around her, Victor's entire operation had gathered. Money launderers disguised as art collectors. Smugglers posing as investors. Killers in expensive suits. And hidden in the crowd, 12 FBI agents. This was it. The final play. 6 months of working undercover. 6 months of gaining Victor's trust. 6 months of documenting every transaction, every deal, every crime. 6 months of pretending Kai was dead while he fed her information from the shadows. Tonight, it ended. Quite a turnout, Victor said, appearing beside her. He wore a white suit, looking pleased with himself. Your instincts for talent are impressive. I learned from someone who understood value, Maya replied smoothly. Kai. She didn't flinch. He taught me that art is about more than beauty. It's about power. And you've wielded that power well. I'm considering extending our arrangement. I'm honored. Don't be. I don't honor. I acquire. Red flags everywhere. But she kept her smile steady. Across the room, she caught a glimpse of someone in a dark hoodie near the exit. Her heart skipped. Kai. He wasn't supposed to be here. Too dangerous. The plan was for him to stay hidden until after the arrests. Their eyes met for half a second. Something was wrong. Victor's phone buzzed. He glanced at it. His expression shifted. Interesting, he murmured. It seems we have FBI agents in attendance. Ice flooded her veins. What? 6 of them, according to my security. Did you think I wouldn't have cameras? Facial recognition? She couldn't breathe. I don't know what you're talking about. Victor grabbed her arm. Hard. His voice dropped to a whisper. You have 3 seconds to tell me the truth before I have your father killed. He's at his shop right now. 1 phone call and he's dead. The world tilted. Victor, please. Did you set me up? Every instinct screamed at her to lie. To run. But she thought of Kai. Of everyone this man had destroyed. Of the choice between fear and freedom. Yes, she said clearly. I set you up. And it's over. His grip tightened until she gasped. You stupid girl. You just killed everyone you love. No. Kai's voice. Right behind Victor. Victor spun, reaching for something in his jacket. Kai moved faster. Grabbed Victor's wrist. Twisted. The gun clattered to the floor. FBI. Everyone on the ground. Chaos erupted. Agents flooding in. Guests screaming. Victor's men reaching for weapons. Kai pulled Maya behind him, shielding her with his body as gunfire cracked through the gallery. Glass shattered. Paintings fell. Everything became noise and violence. Then silence. Victor was on the ground, hands behind his back. His entire operation being arrested. Maya was shaking so hard she could barely stand. Kai turned to her, checking her for injuries. You okay? My dad. Safe. We had agents with him the whole time. Victor was bluffing. Relief crashed through her so hard she almost collapsed. Kai caught her. Held her steady. It's over, he whispered. It's really over. She buried her face in his chest and finally let herself break. 3 months later. Maya stood on a rooftop in Brooklyn, wearing paint-splattered overalls and a tank top, her hands covered in spray paint. Behind her, a massive mural covered the wall. Not a forgery. Not a lie. Her own art. Raw and honest and real. A storm made of color and light. It's beautiful, Kai said, climbing up beside her. He wore a simple black tee and jeans, looking more relaxed than she'd ever seen him. It's angry. Anger can be beautiful. You would say that. He smiled. Wrapped his arms around her waist from behind. Your dad called. He wants us over for dinner. Both of us? Both of us. He's ready to meet the guy who saved his daughter. You didn't save me. I saved myself. Fair. But I was excellent support. She turned in his arms. Looked up at him. No more secrets. No more secrets. No more running. Nowhere left to run to. What do we do now? Without the chaos? Kai thought about it. We figure out who we are when we're not surviving. When we're just living. Sounds boring. Sounds perfect. She kissed him. Soft and slow and full of possibility. When they broke apart, the sun was setting over the city, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Hey Maya. Yeah? That first text. The wrong number. Do you ever think about what would have happened if you'd sent it to the right person? She considered it. I think we would have missed each other completely. Walked past each other 1,000 times and never known what we could have been. So you're saying fate is real? I'm saying sometimes the wrong thing turns out to be exactly right. He pulled her closer. I can live with that. They stood together on that rooftop, two broken people who'd found each other in the chaos and decided to build something beautiful from the wreckage. Below them, the city hummed with life. With possibility. With second chances. And for the first time in longer than either could remember, they both believed in tomorrow. Maya picked up a can of spray paint. Handed one to Kai. Come on. Help me finish this. I don't know how to paint. Then I'll teach you. What are we painting? Whatever comes next. Together, they added to the mural. Not perfect. Not polished. But honest. Real. Theirs. And as the sun set on everything they'd survived, the storm they'd weathered together, Maya Chen and Kai Zhang painted their future in bold, defiant colors. Because sometimes the best stories start with a wrong number. And sometimes they end with exactly the right person. The end.